Hello, everybody.
Mr. Kraus, if you were not able to log on, I will have a link. The only problem would be your ability to share documents. And if you have paper copies, you can just hand it up to me.
Your Honor, given the connections, do you have an objection if I stand here?
No, just stay right there. Y'all can stay seated, relax, and solve this problem. All right, ready?
What is the
The what?
what do I need to log into? Where's the Zoom account?
You want me to send you a Zoom link?
Yeah, or I guess I can just pull a card.
Is the only purpose of the Zoom for the video recording?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna log in to the Zoom now.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sending me a Zoom link, that'd be great.
This is now being recorded, video and audio.
Oh, I see. In other words, you don't want us to log in.
I don't, if you want to, I'm happy. You don't need to. Live on YouTube, which I will send you the link at the end of the hearing if you wish.
What about the PowerPoints? We won't be able to show the PowerPoints on the YouTube, right? On the video.
No, unless you want to log in so I can share documents with you.
If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate.
All right, we'll be happy to send you can you just send them the Zoom link, please?
The expert on technology is part of the law.
With the HDMI connection, if I want to show PowerPoint, it will come up.
Why don't you just put it on, log in, share documents with me on.
Okay.
Okay. If you want a HDMI and then I'm gonna have to do different screens so I can see the documents. It just,
Right.
I won't do all that. Okay, I'm not here to run technology.
And I feel the same way. So I tell you what I'll do. I'll pass out a paper copy. You can.
Just send me paper, just give me paper copies. I'll mark it as exhibits, which is better anyways. Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. You're ready to begin then, as long as I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready. All right, let me frame this and then we can talk about this case. Tell me when you're ready, Mr. Cross. You can stay seated. You ready?
I'm waiting for the authorization for.
No, come figure out what's going on, please. Who is that? Oh, my bad. All right, everybody good? Miss Woodland? All right, so this is Porter versus Duran, OB/GYN Associates PC, and Robert Duran, MD. Case number 21A-05163. The hearing is on defendant Duran, now joined by non-party Amera Group, AKA Amera Group Community Care, on emergency motion in objection to a 30B6 deposition of the representative of Amera Group. Mr. Carter, you're here on behalf of Amera Group?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Woodland, you're here for the defendants.
Correct, Your Honor.
Your motion, or both of your motions. And Mr. Krause is here for the plaintiff. All right, Ms. Woodland. All right, let me sort of try to cut to the chase, which I like to do. I've got 3 dates that are relevant to this inquiry: July 31st, August 15th, and November 7th of 2019. Correct, Mr. Kraus?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right. My question is, does the plaintiff have the billing statements from the defendants to Amera Group?
Yes, Your Honor, we have the
You have the statements.
We have.
You have the billing documents.
The bill that it got produced by AmeriGroup.
You can stay seated. I know it's a little
Yeah, sorry.
not like the way we normally do things, but okay. So it's been produced. There's no question about that.
That's correct, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. And you want to know from AmeriGroup what? The heart of the issue is Dr. Robert Duran's billing statement, correct, Mr. Kraus?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right.
And
My understanding in deposition testimony of Dr. Duran is that he denies having provided care and he denies having supervised the care provided in the insertion of the IUD and the 2 subsequent visits that the plaintiff claims the IUD should have been removed. Would that be fair?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. So at the heart of the issue is on these 3 dates I mentioned,
That's correct.
the insertion date and the 2 follow-up visits. The question is, what was Dr. Duran's involvement,
That's correct.
which he denies? And you have the billing statement. I assume that Dr. Duran or the practice billed for those dates and for services that he denies in deposition that he provided or supervision he provided. Correct?
That is correct, although the bills were signed by Dr. Duran when they were submitted to AmeriGroup, which, and the signature, if I could post it, I'll show you the signature of the supplier. It says, I certify the statements on the reverse apply to this bill and are made a part of it. And the back piece, it says, the services were personally furnished by me or were furnished incident to my professional services by my employee under my direct supervision. So he submitted.
So either when he signs off, he's saying, I either provided the service or I supervised the service.
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's not good enough for you?
The issue came up is the term supervision, does that have, is that a term of art? And the AmeriGroup, when it processes these claims as in essence an HMO, there is specific language that states exactly what supervision means.
And you know that.
I do know, yes, Your Honor.
And why do you need to take a deposition?
I just need to confirm that they're enforcing, that's their expectation when they receive the claims form. And then they pay Dr. Duran.
I don't think anybody's denied that.
What was their expectation? What was the representation upon which they were paid?
They say either I performed the service or I supervised the service, and here's the bill. What else do you need?
I don't really need, it's not that complex. I agree with you, Your Honor. It's pretty that simple.
Right, so why do you need a 30B6?
And then the only other questions is when there is no other name on the invoice. In other words, the invoice has a place where you identify your nurse practitioner or your PA. That's absent from the form.
And they paid it anyways.
They paid it anyways.
Isn't that good for you?
I think it is, Your Honor, yes.
Well, so what are we fussing about?
We just, I need to ask them, is this?
No, you don't. Mr. Grouse, I think you are absolutely entitled to impeach the testimony of the deponent witness by any means reasonable and allowed by law. What I'm hearing from you today is that you actually have the billing statements submitted to AmeriGroup. The defense is not objecting or denying that. The document is what the document is. There's also no denial that the bills were paid by AmeriGroup, the non-party. Mr. Carter, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm not sure I understand what the need for a 30B6 is.
Just going through those basic questions, Your Honor, this way I have it, and then everyone understands for the jury, what does that mean?
I think it's pretty clear. You, just a minute, Ms. Woodland, please.
Sorry, Your Honor.
The doctor or his practice, in this case, Duron, signed off on a bill. The bill doesn't have the name of the actual provider. He gets paid. He certifies to the carrier that I either did it or I supervised it. What else do you want?
If it's not going to be an issue about admissibility,
I don't think that's an issue, Ms. Woodland.
In fact, a question of admissibility, and I mean, what is this case about?
I'm not here about that.
I appreciate that, but this is exactly the issue, because this is not relevant to the care to the core issues in this case. The core issues in this medical case are not whether Medicaid billing was done appropriately and we have
Oh,
satisfied.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because what Mr. Krause hasn't told you is that the Department of Community Health produced hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of their billing guidelines to him. AmeriGroup produced hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of their billing guidelines to him. So the question is, what do these terms mean? Because buried in these guidelines are things like, what does direct supervision mean? Oh, it doesn't mean the doctor has to be there. All right. And so that is, Mr. Krause is trying to make it out that it's a simple issue. You know, here are these terms, because there are billing guidelines about how do you bill for a doctor's care? How do you bill for care provided by an employee of the practice? If we're going to argue about that, okay, if that's what we're going to argue about, and that's going to be an issue in the case, then we're going to be looking at needing billing experts to come in, apart from the medical experts, to come in and testify. Because, for example,
Well, that would be defense rebuttal of plaintiff's evidence, wouldn't it?
it would indeed. The problem is, Your Honor, the deadlines for all of this, Mr. Krause hasn't identified a billing expert. His deadlines have run.
He doesn't need a billing expert. Why would he need a billing expert? The bill speaks for itself. Either I performed it or I supervised it.
The question is, under the hundreds of pages of Medicaid billing guidelines, what does supervision mean? So if
That's, listen, what I'm hearing is that you have a problem with the word supervision, not the plaintiff.
I have a problem with it, Your Honor, it's what does it mean under Medicaid billing guidelines?
I don't know, is Medicaid billing is not relevant in this case.
Well, it is, if he's going to introduce the Medicaid bills to say this is what the doctor.
I think he is going to introduce it to show that the doctor either performed the service or he supervised the service. This is what he's certified that he got paid for.
And the question is, what does the language under the Medicaid guideline yet? Well, that's the problem.
That is not a problem. Actually, it may be a problem for the defense.
It's not, Your Honor, in the sense of what does, okay, so if direct.
What are you now telling me that, okay, you're objecting to him taking this 30B6, correct?
Because it's not relevant.
All right. I tend to agree with you. I don't think it's necessary. That ends the inquiry. Now, but you're raising an issue, but there's a problem because all these definition means A, B, and C, and it doesn't mean this and it doesn't mean that. What is it that you want?
Again, the core question, so for example, admissibility. If he can introduce the Medicaid bills, can I talk to the jury about the fact that Ms. Porter gets her care paid for by the state and federal taxpayers, which would ordinarily be a violation of the collateral source rule? So.
Not if it's for impeachment purposes.
Well, it's obviously.
Your doctor, as I understand, the defendant has denied A, providing service, and B, providing supervision. That's the core issue. He billed for it. If he billed for it, then he needs to explain why.
Your Honor, and that's the variation I'm trying to get to, okay? Because the word supervision has a very specific meaning as it applies to a physician assistant or as it applies to a mid-level. And it does not require, for example, you can look at Medicaid guidelines.
Miss Wood,
So I just raise it, Your Honor, because again, I don't want there to be any surprise.
well,
If I identify a billing expert by the deadline, he's going to come and testify about This is what the term direct supervision means under Medicaid billing guidelines.
So be it. Then I think you better hurry. Get one identified.
Well, I think trying to explain to the court is fundamentally, because for example, there is no dispute in the evidence that Dr. Rodney Delon, who wasn't sued for reasons known only to Mr. Krause.
Which you objected to,
Yes, I did, because again,
which I granted.
all right, and gentleman's dad can't get testimony, but the folks involved have said, yes, he was their supervisor. And the lady involved, Ms. Forrester, and the issues about removal of the IUD has testified, not rebutted, that she spoke to Dr. Rodney about it. So he was supervising her. All right, because, you know, Mr. Krause hasn't raised with the court all these other dates when Dr. Rodney's name is on the bill. And he was the supervising physician. So I guess the question, Your Honor, is what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. That's your defense.
All right.
It's not their burden. He's got a bill from Robert that says, I supervise or perform the service. You say, oh, it isn't him, it's Rodney. He wanted to sue Rodney. You don't want him to sue Rodney. I agree with you. I granted that motion. I precluded him. Now you don't want him to talk about the bill.
No, Your Honor, that's not the point. The point is,
What's the point?
This case is about whether an IUD should have been inserted and whether it should have been removed.
It's really a very simple case.
Case, and we are not.
I don't know why we're even here. Okay, either y'all settle it or come try it. I'm tired of dealing with these motions.
And I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
So do I understand today? I want to make sure, Mr. Carter, on behalf of AmeriGroup, you all issued the statements, received the billings from the Duron practice, signed off by Dr. Robert Duron. Mr. Krause, you have copies of those billing statements. There's no issue as to the authenticity of those documents. Is there, front and back?
Nothing from our side, Your Honor.
Mr. Krause?
No, we are waiting for the backs of some of the bills, but he told me that they'll send.
What do you mean the back of some of the bills?
Yeah, the fronts, the bill is 2 pages, it's in essence 2 pages. of the front
Okay.
and back.
Is there a dispute as to what this standard CH 150 form is supposed to look like? And the language is different on your copy versus his copy?
I don't think so. I just need someone to stipulate that.
Can we have an agreement as to what that is before we leave today? Do you have a copy of those, Mr. Krause, front and back?
I do. It's attached to as exhibit 1D to my responsive motion.
1E.
1D as in David.
1D. Mr. Carter, have you had the benefit of reviewing that?
I don't have it with me at the moment, though, Your Honor.
Will you and Mr. Krause please take a look at that document and see if we are in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Roger, do you have a base number you can provide me?
Yeah, I can email it to you. Right? It's easy peasy. I can show
Well,
you.
here's what I'm gonna do.
The base copy.
Mr. Krause, subject to the stipulation of the veracity or the authenticity of the document, I'm gonna rule and grant the defense and non-parties motion their objection to the 30B6. All right, that objection is sustained.
And Your Honor, I believe I've stated it for the record, but we're certainly not agreeing to the admissibility of any of the evidence.
Nobody is saying anything about admissibility or of anything. I will rule as it is presented. In the context in which it is presented, it may or may not be admissible. I'm just not smart enough today to figure it all out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for being here. I'll issue an order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.